brought to you by Old Iron Bank makes it easy to get funding for the next addition to your collection.
Stop by Charlie Hardesty's place in Valparaiso, Indiana, and you'll find out pretty quickly Charlie is all about Ford tractors.
I just love Ford tractors. They're in my blood. In my last couple of years, I've had the building so full that when people come over, they can't walk through. They can step in the door and look, but they can't walk through.
One of the stars of Charlie's collection is this 1956 960-5. The 960s were row crop tractors, built with a tricycle wheel arrangement. Charlie's is one of the few produced with a different front end.
The 960-5 is actually for a factory option on the wide front end. The tractors were originally designated as a 900 series. The 6 meant that it was a 5-speed with a live PTO. The 0 meant that it was built between 1955 and 1957. Those were the production years. And then there were dash numbers. This particular one is a -5, which designates it as a factory wide front end. And I would have to guess that maybe 15–20% of them that were made with -5s on them. The majority were not. That doesn't mean that they still couldn't get a wide front to begin with on them. They just weren't necessarily manufactured from the manufacturing side out of Ford plant with them on.
The 960 had a 172 cubic inch engine that could produce 43 horsepower. The original 960s in 1956 were all gasoline powered, but could be converted to propane at the dealership. Charlie put one of those propane kits on his tractor when he was rebuilding it.
I personally put propane on this one as a dealer installed kit. It was not there when I bought it. Interesting part of the propane is you start them and run them when they're cold on gas or on a propane gas. And then once you get them warmed up, bring them up to operating temperature, and especially in warm weather, you'll run them on liquid propane rather than gas propane.
Charlie bought this tractor from a guy in Illinois whose father once owned a Ford dealership. It was up to Charlie to finish the restoration process that had already been started.
It had been partially disassembled because he was going to restore it, so it was not running. It was in very good shape as far as sheet metal and everything there, but it just wasn't put together. And I went through and overhauled it, and went through all the transmission, rear end, checked everything out, and made sure it was all good, and restored it, put it back together. And like I said, that's when I put the propane kit onto it myself.
Charlie has a wide collection of Ford tractors, including his rare 740. He also loves collecting implements, and his favorite to show with his 960-5 is this Ford 3-bottom plow.
It's a 314s. It's appropriate year, match year. I don't know that it's actually 56, but it's right there in the same year vintage for the tractor. That's what I would have used on that tractor in this ground around us. Often that tractor would have pulled a 4-bottom plow in lighter soils, but we have some heavy clay soils and we would have used a 3-bottom plow on it. I bought it several years ago. It didn't come with the tractor, and have restored it and put it with the tractor. The implements are needed today when we display tractors because most of the time you don't see them with them, and that was a very important part of the history.
Charlie was only in the 5th grade when he began collecting Ford tractors with his father and brother. For years, the Hardesty family rebuilt and sold tractors together.
Yeah, my dad and my brother and I worked very closely together for years. The experience has brought us into a lot of things. Brought me into collecting, and it brought my brother into owning a dealership that he owned for 30 years. And it's been very good.
Charlie also has his Ford family, which is how he refers to the Ford and Fordson Collectors Association, where he serves as a director.
It doesn't matter whether you're a green collector, or red collector, or red and gray, or orange. We're just there to talk to people and have fun and enjoy all the brands. Even though we really like to showcase our red and grays, the Fords, but we like to talk to all of them. And I'm going to have to brag quite a bit here. I've been in the collector side of things since 1993. Been a member of the Ford and Fordson Club since '94. Been a director since 2000. There is no doubt that I have classic tractor fever.